it's Becky with Life Keys Energy. Today we're going to do a gentle flow and we're going to work on the neck and the shoulders. For this flow you'll need 2 blocks and a strap. So let's go ahead and get started. Coming into Sukhasana, heels in line with the groin. Start to rock side to side, feeling the sit bones connect with the ground. Bringing the shoulders up to the ears, waterfall the shoulder blades down the back. Doing this 2 or 3 times. Ending with the shoulder blades coming down the back. Lift up through the spine just a little bit taller. From here, we're going to drop the chin to the chest and inhale the ear to one shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, ear to opposite shoulder. Continue with this. Let your breath start to carry this motion. And when the ear starts to find one shoulder, go ahead and leave it there. Walk the opposite arm away from the body, starting to lengthen these scalenes, these neck muscles. If this is not enough of a stretch, go ahead and bring your arm up and over, placing it right on the temple and add just a little bit of pressure. And remember, we're drawing the ear down towards the shoulder, not the shoulder towards the ear. Taking 2 more deep breaths here. And walking the hand behind the body just a little bit. Inhale, lift up, switching sides, drawing the ear to the opposite shoulder. Walk the arm away from the body. Maybe bring the free hand up and over, hold here. Inhale, lift up. We're going to bring that thumb up towards the ceiling and then bring that thumb right between the shoulder blades any way that it gets there. Rolling the shoulder blade down the back, you're going to take the ear to the opposite shoulder. Once again, getting into these neck muscles, breathing in here. I find that we store a lot of our would've, could've, should'ves here. We store our to-do lists in our scalenes. So starting to breathe into that space and releasing anything that's not serving you today. Exhale, release, switching sides. Inhale the thumb up towards the ceiling. Bring that thumb right between the shoulder blades any way that it gets there. And then drop the ear to the opposite shoulder, breathing in here. Inhale, back to center. We're going to take the hands, interlace the fingers, push the palms out, starting to round the back. Start to push the palms away from the body. Breathing in here. Inhale, lift up, rolling the shoulder blades down the back. We're going to keep both sit bones connected to the ground as we lean to the side, lifting the armpit up. Breathing in here, releasing the tension across the neck. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, switch opposite side. Inhale, back to center. Opening the arms up wide like a T. We're going to cross the arms in front, stacking the elbows. Bring the back of the hands together. If that feels easy peasy lemon squeezy, flip the palms so the palms are touching. Either version, you're going to lift those elbows up nice and tall. Lift up through the spine. Hinge at the waist, fold forward. Eagle arms with a forward fold. Breathe in here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, open the arms up wide like a T. Reverse the cross of the arms. Stack the elbows. Bring the back of the hands together. Maybe flip the palms to touch. Lift up through the elbows. Hinge at the waist. Fold forward. Breathe in here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. So we're going to go ahead and grab both of our blocks and come into tabletop. So in tabletop, the knees are roughly hips distance apart, which is roughly 2 fists stacked together between the knees. And then the joints are stacked, so the wrists are under the elbows and the elbows are under the wrists. We'll bring both blocks here on that mama bear level, that medium height, right about shoulder height, shoulder width apart. Bringing the toes together, the knees out wide. You're going to sink those hips back into child's pose. Place the triceps onto the blocks. Bring the hands together in namaste pose. Release the head down between the blocks as you bring the hands behind the occipital. Sink down here, breathe in. Inhale, lift up. For time's sake, we held that for about 5 breaths. You are welcome to hold that up to 15 breaths or 3 minutes if that feels right. But for the sake of this video, we're going to go ahead and stop this. Coming back into tabletop, working on the alignment for just a minute. We're going to start to push the floor away as we flatten that spine. Contract the abs, pull the abs back towards the navel. Inhale, lift one arm up towards the ceiling. From here, we're going to thread the arm through and really walk that arm up towards the camera here, up towards the phone. From here, you're going to take your free hand that's been supporting you and creepy crawl it to the top of the mat. Sink those hips back ever so slightly. Breathing in here for thread the needle, really getting into the tops of those shoulders. Holding this for 5 deep breaths. And then bring the hand underneath the shoulder. Push yourself back up into tabletop. And we're going to reverse the thread the needle. So inhale the arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, thread the arm through. Walk the hand to the top of the mat. Sink those hips back. Hold. Pulling that hand back underneath the shoulders, pushing yourself back into tabletop. We're going to come forward onto the belly. Bring those hands out nice and wide like a T. We're going to come up onto the fingertips. Lift the elbows up towards the ceiling. Toes point in, heels point out, ground down into the hips. Inhale, lift that heart space. Bhujangasana Cobra. From here, pull the shoulder blade back down towards the shoulder. Look back. Come back to center. Exhale, switching sides, drawing that shoulder back towards the hip. Come back to center. Doing this 2 or 3 times, finding the stretch, finding the lengthening in the spine here. Back to center. Last one. Coming back onto the belly, we're going to walk the hand away from the body. Use those spidey fingers to hang on to the floor. You're going to roll onto the shoulder, coming up onto the side. And then take the top leg and step back like you're trying to step on your hand, really getting into that chest here. Coming back onto the belly. We're going to bend that arm at the elbow at a 90 degrees, hanging onto the floor once again, rolling up onto the hip, stretching in that shoulder space. Exhale, release, coming onto the abdomen. We're going to switch sides, walk the arm away from the body, roll up onto the edge, and then we're going to step back like we're trying to step on the hand, activating that hip flexor, getting into the chest. Breathe in here. Coming back onto the belly, bending that arm at a 90 degrees, rolling up onto the side. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Inhale, back to center. We're going to bring the hands right underneath the shoulders. Push ourselves back into child's pose. Breathing in, 3 deep breaths. And then from child's pose, we're going to push ourselves back up into tabletop. You're going to bring the shins out as wide as the mat. Sink those hips back so the hips are on top of the knees. Bring the forearms down to the ground. Bring the pinkies as wide as the mat. Hips go high, head goes low, puppy. If puppy doesn't give you the stretch in the shoulders that you were hoping for, with those hips still stacked over the knees, walk the hands to the top of the mat. Bring the chin onto the mat and bring the gaze through those thumbs. Breathe in here, extended puppy. And walking those hands back. We're going to come back to a seated position, reaching for our straps. So we're going to take the straps. I like to fold it in half because they're so long. But we're going to hold the strap in one hand, drop that strap down the back. The elbow comes up towards the ceiling. From here, you're going to take your other hand and start to walk the hands down the straps towards each other. If your fingers touch, fantastic. If they don't touch, fantastic. Coming into your full range of motion here. Lift up through the spine and then hinge at the waist. Fold forward, lengthening through those shoulders. Inhale, lift up. We're going to switch sides now. Release the strap. The arm that was on bottom is now on top. Drop the strap down the back. Walk the hands towards each other. Once again, if they touch, great. If they don't touch, that's okay too. Lift up through the spine. Hinge at the waist. Fold forward. Inhale, lift up. From there, we're going to use both our blocks. We're going to come into a restorative pose. So we'll take one block on the Papa Bear level. This is going to be your pillow. And we're going to bring one block on the Mama Bear level, and that's going to go between your shoulder blades. So this pose is excellent for opening up the chest and opening up the hips. I will say that if this second block doesn't get in the right position, super uncomfortable pose. So you'll want to bring the soles of the feet together, open up the knees nice and wide. From there, hang on to the block. I like to start the block about an inch below my bra strap, lining it up with my spine, letting the shoulder blades drape over it, settling in, opening the arms up wide like a T, and holding the Supta Baddha Konasana for at least 5 breaths and up to 5 minutes, depending on what my body needs. And holding this pose for as long as is necessary. We're going to bring the hands, when we're ready, underneath the body. Use the arms to push ourselves up, not the low back. And then coming back into Sukhasana, staying here for the next 3 or 4 breaths, just noticing how the body feels. I'm bringing the hands to Anjali Heart Center, pressing the thumbs into the sternum. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to practice with you today. I hope your shoulders and your neck feel much better. If you try this video, please let me know how your results go. And if you need a different video, please let me know. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.